Hello, a very warm welcome to Special English Corner. I'm your host, Mark.
And I'm Sharon. It's so good to be with you again. Mark, today you look very happy. Is it because the sun is finally shining in Harbin?
You guessed it, Sharon. Spring has finally arrived in the Ice City. And when spring comes to Harbin Institute of Technology, something magical happens. The whole campus starts to smell like a dream.
I know exactly what you mean. It's the lilacs. To our listeners, a lilac is a flower. In English, we spell it L-I-L-A-C.
In Chinese, they are called zidinxiang. At HIT, lilacs are more than just flowers. They are the soul of the university. They are in the gardens, they are in the name of the student forum, and they are even flying in space.
That's right. Today we have a very long and relaxing episode for you. We are going to explore the deep relationship between HIT and the lilac flower.
We have divided our conversation into four main parts. Part 1, the purple campus. We describe the beauty and the scent of the flowers.
Part 2, the digital lilac. We talk about the famous Lilac BBS and student life.
Part 3, from soil to stars. The story of the Lilac Nano-satellites.
Part 4, memories and goodbyes. Why the lilac is the flower of graduation.
It's a long journey, so find a comfortable place, maybe have a cup of tea, and let's start our stroll through the lilac-filled campus of HIT. Sharon, let's start with a simple question. If an English beginner walks onto the HIT campus in late May, what is the first thing they will notice?
Oh, that's easy. It's the fragrance. F-R-A-G-R-A-N-C-E. This is a beautiful word that means a sweet or pleasant smell.
The fragrance of lilacs is very strong. It's not like a rose, which is very light. Lilacs have a bold scent. You can smell them from a block away.
And the colors. Most people think lilacs are only purple, but at HIT, we have many varieties. There are deep purple ones, light lavender ones, and even pure white ones.
Lavender, that's a good color word for our learners. L-A-V-A-N-D-E-R. It's a very soft, light purple. Imagine thousands of these tiny flowers clustered together on a bush.
In English, we call a group of flowers on a branch a cluster, C-L-U-S-T-E-R. The lilac flowers grow in these beautiful cone-shaped clusters. When the wind blows, they all move together like a purple wave.
You know, Harbin's winter is very long and very cold. For 6 months, everything is white and gray, so when the lilacs blossom, it feels like a victory.
Blossom, B-L-O-S-S-O-M. This is a verb and a noun. It means the flower opens up. For HIT students, the lilac blossom means we survived the winter.
Exactly. The most famous place to see them is near the main building. The contrast between the big, serious, gray, Soviet-style building and the soft, delicate purple flowers is just beautiful.
It's a contrast of hard and soft. HIT is known for being a hardcore engineering school. It's a place of metal, machines, and hard math. But the lilacs add a soft heart to the campus.
I like that. The hard engineering and the soft flowers. Sharon, did you know that Harbin actually named the lilac as its city flower?
Yes, in 1988, and HIT is like the center of that lilac world. There are more than 10,000 lilac bushes on both campuses. That is a lot of gardening.
And they aren't all the same. Some bloom early in May and some bloom later in June. This means the fragrance stays with the students for a long time.
Let's teach our listeners the word bush, B-U-S-H. A bush is like a very small tree with many branches near the ground. Lilacs grow on bushes or shrubs.
Some of the bushes at HIT are very old. They have seen many generations of students come and go. When you walk past them, you feel like you're part of history.
And it's not just about looking, it's about the feeling of spring. Students take their books outside and sit near the lilacs to study. Mark, do you think it helps them study better?
Well, if I were there, I might fall asleep because the smell is so relaxing, but it definitely makes the campus feel more like a home and less like a cold factory.
Relaxing, R-E-L-A-X-I-N-G. That is how the campus feels in lilac season. It is a time of peace before the busy final exams.
So, if you're an English learner, try to imagine this. a bright blue sky, the cool Harbin air, a big gray building, and the sweet purple fragrance of 1,000 lilac clusters.
That is the perfect mental picture. Now let's look at how the lilac moved from the ground into the world of the internet.
Welcome to Part 2. Sharon, if I'm an HIT student and I want to find out what's happening on campus, or if I want to buy a second-hand bicycle, where do I go?
You go to the Lilac BBS.
BBS, that is an old-fashioned term for many people now. It stands for Bulletin Board System. For our beginners, you can just think of it as an online forum, FORUM.
At HIT, the forum is named Zidingfang, or Lilac. It has been the digital home for HIT students for over 20 years.
Why did they name a computer website after a flower?
Because the lilac represents the spirit of the campus. Even in the digital world, students wanted a name that felt familiar and warm.
The Lilac BBS is where the real student life happens. There are sections for everything. There's a section for academic discussion, sports, love and relationships, and even lost and found.
I love the lost and found section. I lost my keys near the library, or I found a student ID card near the lilac bushes. It shows how honest and helpful the community is.
Let's look at the word community, COMMUNITY. This means a group of people who share something in common. At HIT, the lilac name connects everyone.
Even after students graduate and move to Beijing, Shanghai, or even America, they still log into the Lilac forum. It's a way to stay connected to their youth.
We call these people alumni, ALUMNI. That's a fancy Latin word for former students. For many alumni, Lilac is a password that opens up their memories.
And the language on the forum is very special. Students use a lot of campus slang. Mark, do you know what slang means?
Yes, slang is informal language used by a specific group of people. For example, HIT students might have special nicknames for different canteens or buildings.
And many of those nicknames involve the word lilac. There's the Lilac Dining Hall, and there are Lilac Student Awards. It's like the flower is a brand for the whole university.
It's a brand of excellence, EXCELLENCE. But it's a humble kind of excellence. Lilacs aren't like sunflowers that look at the sun, or roses that have thorns. They are small and simple, but they work together to make something big.
That is a great observation. A single lilac flower is very tiny, but when thousands of them join together in a cluster, they become powerful. That is exactly like the students at HIT. They work together in teams to build big things.
Like the robots and the rockets.
Exactly. And speaking of rockets, the lilac didn't stay on the computer screen. It actually went to the launch pad.
That sounds like a perfect bridge to our next part. But before we move on, let's remember the word digital, DIGITAL. The Lilac BBS is the digital version of the purple flowers we see on campus.
It's a place of virtual fragrance. Even if you can't smell it through the screen, you can feel the warmth of the community.
Now we are in part 3, and this is where the story gets really hardcore. We are talking about the Lilac Satellites.
For our beginners, a satellite is a machine that flies around the Earth in space. SATELLITE.
At HIT, there is a famous team of students, not professors, but students, and they built their own satellites. They named them Lilac 1 and Lilac 2.
Sharon, why would a group of tough engineering students name a high-tech satellite after a delicate flower?
I think it's because of engineering romance. In English, we use the word romance not just for love, but for a beautiful and poetic idea.
The idea of sending a flower from Harbin into the black silence of space is very poetic. It's like sending a piece of their home into the stars.
Lilac 2 was a nano-satellite. We talked about this in our space episode. Nano means very, very small. It was only about the size of a large box of tissues.
But it was sophisticated. SOPHISCATED. This is a great word for beginners to learn. It means something is very complex and advanced.
Even though it was small, it could take pictures of the Earth and test new technologies. When it was launched, the whole HIT community, the Lilac community, was watching.
I can imagine the excitement. They were watching the Lilac rise into the sky on a long March rocket.
And here's a fun fact. The satellite carried a small radio. People all over the world could listen to the signals from the Lilac satellite. It was like the flower was singing in space.
That is amazing. It shows that at HIT, the students don't just dream, they execute. EXECUTE. This means to do or complete a plan.
From the soil to the stars, the lilac starts in the dirt of Harbin, but it ends up in orbit. It represents the ambition of the students.
Let's look at the word ambition. AMBITION. It means a strong desire to achieve something great.
The Lilac satellites proved that you don't need to be a giant government agency to reach space. You just need a good team, a lot of hard work, and maybe a little bit of that lilac spirit.
What is the lilac spirit, Mark?
I think it is the ability to survive in the cold and still produce something beautiful. It's about being resilient. RESILIENT.
Resilient. That is a very important English word. It means you can recover quickly from difficulties, like a lilac bush that survives a -40-degree winter and then blooms beautifully in May.
HIT students are resilient. Their studies are very difficult. The weather is very cold, but like the lilacs, they bloom.
And sometimes they bloom just in time to say goodbye. That brings us to our final part.
We are now in the final part of our story, part 4. This is the most emotional part. We are talking about graduation. GRADUATION.
In China, graduation season is usually in June, and in Harbin, June is when the late-blooming lilacs are at their best.
So for every HIT student, the smell of lilacs is the smell of goodbye.
It's a bittersweet feeling, BITTERSWEET. This is a perfect word for beginners. It's a mix of two opposite feelings, bitter because you are sad to leave your friends, and sweet because you are excited about your future.
If you walk around the HIT campus in June, you will see thousands of students in their black graduation gowns. And where are they taking their photos?
Under the lilac bushes.
Of course, you see a group of friends laughing, throwing their hats in the air with the purple lilacs in the background. Those photos will stay on their walls for the rest of their lives.
They want to capture the moment. In English, to capture a moment means to save it, usually with a photo or a memory.
And it's not just about the photos. Many students like to find a 5-petal lilac.
Oh, I know this legend. Most lilac flowers have 4 petals, PETAL. The petals are the colored leaves of the flower.
But if you find one with 5 petals, it is said to bring you good luck. So you see students standing very close to the bushes, looking carefully at the tiny flowers, hoping to find their luck before they leave the university.
That is a beautiful tradition. It shows that even these serious engineers believe in a little bit of magic.
When they leave Harbin, they take that fragrance of memory with them. Many years later, if they smell a lilac in a different city, they will immediately think of their days at HIT.
We call this a trigger, TRIGGER. A smell can be a trigger that brings back a memory from 10 or 20 years ago.
For an HIT alumnus, the smell of lilac triggers memories of late-night studying, eating spicy noodles in the canteen, and walking with friends under the moon.
So the lilac is like a time machine.
I love that, a purple, fragrant time machine.
Sharon, we have talked a lot today. We talked about the campus, the internet forum, the satellites in space, and the graduation tears.
It's amazing how one small flower can mean so much to so many people.
It's because the flower is a symbol, SYMBOL. A symbol is something that represents an idea.
At HIT, the lilac is a symbol of persistence, PERSISTENCE. It means continuing to do something even when it is hard.
It's a symbol of intelligence because of the smart students, and it's a symbol of home.
Before we finish, let's review some of our lilac words for our beginners. 1. Fragrance, a sweet smell. 2. Cluster, a group of things growing together. 3. Blossom, when a flower opens. 4. Resilient, able to recover from cold or difficulty. 5. Bittersweet, a mix of happy and sad. 6. Capture, to save a memory or a photo.
That is a great list. If you are learning English, try to be like the lilac. Be resilient. Keep practicing even when it is difficult. And one day, you will blossom into a great speaker.
What a lovely thought, Mark. Thank you for sharing this lilac journey with me today.
Thank you, Sharon. And thank you to all our listeners for staying with us for this long episode.
We hope you can almost smell the lilacs through your headphones.
Stay curious, stay warm, and keep practicing your English.
Until next time, I'm Sharon. And I'm Mark.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.